My name is Robert Ozzimo. I proudly represent the company of Harcourts, Rata & Co. And I'm joined by some of the best in the business here today, the award-winning team from the north, the team in blue, should you require their advice. Please feel free to approach either Giordano, Bal, Ivan, Annie, and of course Emilia, Faba, Michael Cetrola, who no doubt you've met throughout the marketing campaign. Buyers, let me share with you the following announcements which are in place to help you bid and buy with absolute confidence here today. The auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that are made available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for a property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price as the auctioneer. I'll indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and provides for fines for such conduct. The rules permit for vendor bids. The words I'll use during the auction to indicate that I'm making a bid on behalf of the vendor are vendor bid, and by law only I, as the auctioneer, can make a vendor bid. The contract of sale has been on display prior to today's auction, and we are calling for a 10% deposit upon the fall of the hammer and the signing of that contract to take place here today, with the balance to be paid at settlement in a flexible 30 to 60 days time, at which time the vendor will provide the lucky buyer with vacant possession of the property. All in all, it's quite a straightforward contract. Everything's in there, everything's quite clear. So buyers, is with my highest recommendation what we offer for your consideration and competition here today. What a great outlook this property has, park fronted, with everything that you need to make for a great lifestyle, everything that you need to secure your family's future through capital growth. There's already so much infrastructure in and around the surrounding streets, but the most exciting part is that there's so much more infrastructure planned in the years ahead, and what that means for you is continued growth over the years, providing more security for your family. Now, there's no doubt that the market is on the move in 2025. There's no doubt that the market will continue to be on the move in 2026, especially as we see interest rates fall and property prices rising. But you've got an opportunity before you today to beat the cuts, to get into the market, to ride that wave of capital growth and earn that capital growth for yourself, earn that equity for yourself, rather than delaying and having to pay it down the track. You've got the opportunity right now, buyers. If you want to get the sold sticker on the board, now's the opportunity to secure that right. Where can I see a fair and reasonable starting bid for 8 Cerridwen? Who'd like to start us off? I don't mind the call, buyers. I'm in your hands. At 650,000 and 60 now, 660,000. A quick retort there, Annie. 660, it's against your buyer. At 600, no, I'm taking 10. At 660,000, got to be 70. At 660,000, fairly been offered. 70 got now, and 80 now. At 680,000. At 680,000, very decisive buy on the phone there. 90 at 7. At 700,000, fairly been offered now at 7. At 700, the bid. At 700,000. At 710 and 20 now. At 720,000. At 720,000, fairly been offered now. 30 got. At 730 and 40. At 740,000, fairly been offered now at 740. At 750 now. At 60. At 760,000. I will say that we are on the market. We are selling today at 770 now, at 770,000, at 770,000. I'm not going inside. I'm not referring to the vendor. I've been given my instructions. My instructions are that we sell here today. So at 770,000, the bid's there, the keys are there at 770 now. Make absolutely no mistake about it. If you're waiting for a halftime break, if you're waiting to see me go inside, it's not going to happen here today. We are on the market and selling at 771. At 771 now, on the market and selling. We play for keeps at 772 now. At 772,000, and we sell away at 73. At 773,000. At 773 and 4. At 774 now. At 774,000, at 75, at 775,000 on the market selling. We play for keeps, make no mistake, at 6 now, at 776, at 776,000, 77 now, triple sevens, lucky for some, at 777,000 and 78, wasn't to be, at 778 now, at 780 now, 780,000, at 780,000. If you've come to buy, you must bid me now at 82 or forever hold your peace, because we sell at 782. At 782,000 bids there, keys there, 82 the bid. At 782,000, fairly been offered. We are selling here today at 782 and 83 at a 783. At $783,000 a bid and 4 now at 784 the bid. At 784,000, fairly been offered. We sell here today at $784,000 the bid. If there's no better bidding, we'll sell it that at 784. It's against your buyer, Rose. If they are there to buy, they must let me know now at 785. At 785 the bid. At 786 now, 786 the bid. At 786,000, fairly been offered. At 786, all quiet on the street, all the bidding, all the action happening with the girls on the phone. At 786 now. At 786,000, we sell here today at 786. Once at 786 done. At 90, and a great bid at that at 790. Talamani, fight fire with fire. Give me a bigger bid at 91. I'll take it. 791. At 791,000, and we're selling at 791. At 791, fairly been offered now. Is that all they've got in the tank, Rose? Tell them to dig deep if they want to buy. There's no moment. The moment is now. No time like the present. At 791. At 791,000 on the phone with Annie at 791, and we're selling here today at 791 the bid. Once at 791,000. Are we all done? Second call at 791. Done and finished at 792. No interest over here. Just checking with our local buyers. Thank you for your attendance. At 792 and 94. At 794 back against your buyer, Rose. No interest over here. Was that a bid, ma'am? I thought that was a bid. I was just about to take your money and give you a house. At 794. Thank you for coming. At 795 now at 95. No interest on this side of the street. Just making sure. At 796 now at 796. At 796,000. At 796,000. I've cancelled out any competition on the street here. On the phones we are at 96. At 796,000, fairly been offered at 796 the bid. At 796,000. At 796 the bid. First call at 796. Are we done? Second call at 796. Done and finished. I'll thank you this afternoon at 97. At 797. Take me to 800. Tell them to be bold. Only 800,000 might be the barrier for the competition. At 797 now the bid. At 797,000. At 799, just shy of 8. At 799,000. If 8's the barrier, you want to get there first. At 799 the bid and make it 800 even money. At 799,000. At 799 bid there. Keys are there. We sell if there's no better bid. Once at 799 done. Twice at 799, done and finished for the third and final call at $799,000 a bid. All done, all finished, all silent and out at 799. Rose, need to know, in or out?
We're out.
Definitely done.
We're done.
Thank them very much for their bidding here today at 799,000. First, second, third, final call, done, finished. Silent out at 799.
Sure?
Definitely done. One more time. Tell me one more time.
Not good.
At 799 we are selling, 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 sold. Congratulations to our purchaser and our vendors here today. Thank you for witnessing another successful Harcourts, Rata & Co auction.